It was raining when I heard the knock. A soft, hesitant tap-tap that seemed almost apologetic. At 2:03 a.m., I don't expect visitors. I had just finished my shift at the mining outpost, and exhaustion was drowning me. Still, I opened the door, pulse already racing. She stood there in the rain, tall, statuesque, her silvery blue skin glistening under the pale lights of my porch. Her eyes, large and violet, stared at me with a strange mix of sorrow and determination. "My name is Zairani," she said, voice trembling, "and I need your help." I didn't speak. My brain was still trying to process the alien before me. Not just any alien. Zairani was one of the Alari, a race known for keeping to themselves on this side of the colony moon. We humans and Alari cohabited the planet peacefully, but barely interacted. Her kind didn't usually ask humans for anything. "My mate was killed in the last solar flare storm," she said softly, wrapping her arms around herself. "I have 2 younglings. They need guidance. They need protection. They need a father." I blinked. "What?" She stepped forward, gaze steady. "I will warm your bed, human. I will share your food. I will guard your dwelling. In return, I ask only that you protect my children and treat them as your own." Her words hit like a shockwave. I should have said no. I should have shut the door. But her voice, it carried more than just desperation. There was hope. And something else, honor. "I'm a miner," I said after a moment. "I have nothing to offer." "You have kindness," she said. "And that is more than many." The first few days were quiet. Zairani and her children, 2 small, bioluminescent twins with curious eyes and fluttering fins on their backs, settled in quickly. I converted the spare room for them. She cooked strange but nourishing meals. Her children called me Heron, a term of respect in their language. She never pushed intimacy. Instead, she worked to make herself useful, fixing my broken tools, tending the garden I had long abandoned, and teaching the twins human language. Her grace was effortless, her strength hidden beneath layers of sorrow and resilience. But it wasn't all easy. Some of my neighbors whispered. Others glared. A few threatened, mixing blood with aliens. One said, "You'll regret it, Harrow." I ignored them, though the pressure gnawed at me. One night, as the twins slept, Zairani joined me by the fire. She sat beside me, silent for a long while, then asked, "Do you regret letting us in?" I shook my head. "I just don't understand why me." She turned to me, eyes shimmering. "You were kind to my mate once," he told me. "When his supply runner broke down in Sector 9, you stayed with him until help came." I remembered that day. The storm was coming fast. Most would have left. I didn't. I hadn't known his name. He said, "That human has an honest heart." She smiled faintly. When he died, I remembered his words. A lump formed in my throat. I didn't reply. Words felt useless. Over the weeks, we grew into a strange sort of family. The twins began calling me Delenn, Alari for Heartfather. They clung to me when I returned from work, painted my arms with glowing pigments, laughed when I pretended not to understand their language. And Zairani began to sleep in my bed. She never asked. She simply curled beside me one night, her body warm and still, her breathing synchronized with mine. I didn't protest. Her presence was calming, grounding. At some point, I realized I had begun to need her, just as much as she once needed me. Then the attacks began. Radicalists, humans who believed in species purity, started targeting mixed homes. A firebomb in Sector 4. A poisoning in Sector 12. We were next. I found a message scrawled on my door in red paint. One species. One blood. Zairani saw it. Said nothing. That night, she kissed me. Not out of passion, but defiance. "They will not take my family from me," she whispered. I contacted the outpost guard, but they offered only hollow promises. "It's complicated," they said. "Interspecies arrangements create tension." So we prepared. Zairani taught me Alari combat, fluid, precise, elegant. I reinforced the house, dug escape tunnels, Train the twins to hide at a signal. And then it happened. They came in the dead of night, for masked men, weapons drawn. But Zairani was faster. She dropped one before he stepped past the threshold. I tackled another. The twins activated the blinding flare we had rigged in the hallway. We fought for our home. In the end, the radicals fled. One was arrested. The others vanished. Our house was left scorched, broken, blood-stained. But we survived. In the days that followed, something changed in the colony. Neighbors who had once judged us now left food. A group of humans and Ilari rebuilt our porch. Others joined in protest against the radicals. Something had shifted. One evening, as I watched the twins dance in the starlight, Zairani wrapped her arms around me. "You are not their blood," she said, "but you are their father. And mine." I held her close. "I never wanted a family," I murmured, "but now I can't imagine life without one." She smiled, resting her head against mine. "Then you understand." And I did. Her plea at my door was never about needing a protector. It was a test, a hope, a dream that someone might care enough to stand beside the broken and make them whole again. She had lost a mate, but gained something new. And so had I.